I recorded an album a couple of years ago, and I'm a Christian. I'm actually an ordained pastor, and so I do write faith-filled songs. But I write a lot of songs that are just about life. And hopefully my faith weaves its way into some of those stories. But this one is actually a Christian song. It's the one faith-based song I've had on my last record. And I'm so deeply grateful to say that I had the privilege of having one of my musical heroes sing on this song with me on the recording. Russ Taff recorded this song with me. And he's such a sweet guy. I wish I had time to tell you how much I love that guy. But when I asked him if he would... we've been friends for probably 12 years, and I've never asked him for anything musical, and I called him. And I said, hey, I have a question for you. And I just locked up. I was so nervous. Like, I don't want to violate our friendship either. So I said, well, you know, I'm doing this independent record, and I've got a faith-based song on it. And I was just kind of hoping that maybe you might. He said, Rob, do you want me to sing on this song? And I said, yeah, I do. And he said, I would love to. And it's just between us, okay? He said, I'll do it, but I have one condition. And I said, what's that? And he said, I don't want you to pay me a dime. And I said, no, Russ, we've got money budgeted for this record, and I've got money to pay. I want to pay you. He said, nope. He said, I can't do much. But God gave me the ability to sing. And when I get the opportunity, if a friend of mine asked me to sing, I consider that a vocal tithe. So I would be honored to sing on your song. I said, do you want to hear it? He goes, nah. If you're happy with it, that's good enough for me. And he said, well, on the other, think about it. Go ahead and send me the MP3 because I do need to learn it. But he said, I don't need to hear it to approve it. If you want me to sing on it, I'll be happy to sing on it. So one of the thrills of my life was having Russ Taff sing the second verse of this song and finish it out. And then in the studio, we were cutting it, and he said, you know what? I wanted him to do the song like second verse out. And he said, no, it's your record, but I think you ought to sing that last chorus, and I will harmonize with you. And I was like, what? Russ Taff is offering to sing harmony. It's just amazing. So anyway, he's an amazing guy. And this song came about because I was with two songwriter friends, Karen Staley and Mark Narmore, and we were sitting around doing the catch-up thing. You know, how you doing, how you doing, how you doing? And so we start swapping ideas, and we're tossing out song title possibilities. And what about this? What about that? Nah, what about no? And Karen said, you know, on the way here, I saw a church billboard that, you know, the kind that have the sayings on it. And she said, this church billboard said, don't tell God about your mountain, tell your mountain about your God. And all three of us went, that's what we're going to write today. That's, you know, that resonated with all of us. So this song came from some random church sign, and it's called Tell the Mountain, featuring Russ Taff. Anyway. From where I stand, this looks insurmountable. I can't see a way around what's facing me. In my life, miracles are bountiful. So why is it still so hard to believe? When worries are screaming in the dark, a still small voice whispers in my heart. Don't tell God how big your mountain is. Tell the mountain how big your God is. Tell your deepest doubts that He lives, so you can overcome. There's nothing to be scared of, walking in the strength of His love. Don't tell God about your mountain. Tell the mountain about your God. I feel like David looking at a giant, but my fear is sometimes bigger than my faith. What seems so unmoving and defiant is just my own self getting in the way. When all you see are roadblocks and walls, watch God use prayer like a wrecking ball. Don't tell God how big your mountain is. Tell the mountain how big your God is. Tell your deepest doubts that He lives, so you can overcome. There's nothing to be scared of. Walk in the strength of His love. Don't tell God about your mountain. Tell the mountain about your God. Don't tell God how big your mountain is. Tell the mountain how big your God is. Tell your deepest doubts that He lives, so you can overcome. There's no